Hey, what's up, Internet? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Time for some more painting. We are starting a little bit late tonight. Just trying to get the babies to sleep, and they are not having it tonight. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to fire up the Discord tonight, and I'm going to hop in the on-air section. So we're going to hang out. If you are a subscriber or you are a contributor to the Play It Painted community, you do have access to the on-air section of the Discord. Let me know if you need any information on how to get there. Tonight, we're going to work on the Morticians again, and after talking with the client here, he wants these two to get the same theme that we're seeing that I did on the other one. So we're going to have to get these guys caught up. I apologize for that. So if you watched last night, you know what the steps in this process are going to be. And we're going to get these two caught up, and then we're going to start working on some of the other kind of colors here. Okay, so I'm going to eat a cookie. Why do I need an update? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't care. I don't have time for delays tonight. This is just ridiculous. Starting to get stressed out. Yeah. Alright. So I'm here in the... So now I'm in the subscriber part, and we're going to get going. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Heard him there for a second. Let me, yeah, what, you want out now? Kitty, come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, saw that coming.
Good?
Yeah, it's like a comedy of errors right now. Everything that can get in the way of me setting this up tonight will. I just knocked a bunch of shit off my desk. Oh, what's up, Andrew?
All good, man. How are you?
Son of a whore. What the hell? Alright. That was a lot of shit that just went off the desk. Like, the stupid cat went under my desk. I had to pick up the cat, and in doing so, he just kind of made me adjust my body to rip everything off the desk. Okay.
Ramses, why?
Cat just died. He was here. He was sitting here quiet and happy right until I turned the camera on, and then he had to make his presence known.
You.
So you're doing some painting tonight?
Just, call it. Just paint, like trying out new colors and stuff like that. Like I wanted to try and paint a purple coat instead of like the normal like gray and see how that turned out. I don't know how.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm at the crossroads right now.
What does that mean exactly?
I don't know if I like this purple color as like a coat, but I haven't put a wash or anything on it or like did a highlight, so we'll see.
Oh, I gotcha. Sure.
Experimenting with the color and then like so it's all done. How it's gonna turn out.
Yeah. Man, it might be time to get myself a new airbrush here. Might be time.
Conking out on you?
No, it's this one has had a lot of miles on it, and it's really starting to get just gunked up. But that's good that it lasted this long. But yeah, I'll probably order another one.
So you're gonna order the same model, or are you gonna get like
a
different?
No,
one?
I just always get the same one until I can afford a really nice one. I'll just keep getting this one. Because it still works.
Yeah, aren't most airbrushes, they do the same job? Like, what would be the difference between a real expensive, like, top-of-the-line one versus any old airbrush, you know? Like, what would you think?
For me, it's mainly the action on the trigger. Like, if you have a really good smooth action and a sensitive trigger, that's good. Also, if they're the easier to clean, like the best airbrushes, in my opinion, are the ones that are the easiest to clean. That'll just help, like, let you change out colors real quick. Those are the ones that are really nice. I don't need like all of the like little minute adjustments that the really fancy ones have. I don't think most people don't use those. You usually just go off of your muscle memory for stuff like that. But I guess if you were like newer to airbrushing and you were learning, you could like find a setting that worked really well for you and then just lock the whole airbrush down around that setting. I don't think that would work though. I think the next time you fired up your airbrush, things, you know, shift ever so slightly.
I was thinking that like change every time you fire it up or something like that, because you know, like the pressures and all that.
Yeah. That's just normal. Every time you fire up the airbrush, it could be slightly different.
Sure matters too.
Because many things have changed. But I do want to get. At some point I do want to actually like buckle down and get myself a really nice airbrush and see what I can do with it. See if I could get like some really good detail out of it. Because back when I had my harder Steenbeck, I could do a lot of stuff with that airbrush.
On one of those, like to get like a really nice one, like not crazy. We're not talking about like, but a good one, like interested in, but not overboard.
Yeah.
Like, say the market is for that.
Oh, you asking like, what's a reasonable cost for a good airbrush? A what?
Dollar amount on one of those.
Oh. Well, the one I want is a $300 airbrush. But most people aren't going to need an airbrush like that unless you really want to do like fine detail work. Most people are fine, you know, spending, you know, anywhere between $25 and $100 for an airbrush. Like for most people swear by the Patriot 105, the Badger Patriot. I don't particularly like that airbrush, but everybody else swears by it. I would recommend, if you want to get a decent airbrush, like an Iwata would be decent. Iwata Eclipse or even like the entry level harder Steenbeck. The Ultra is a good airbrush. But it almost comes down to personal preference too. Like it would be nice if when you buy an airbrush, like if they just had like demo models out and you could check them out and see which features you like. But so yeah, so like even after I get like my $300 airbrush, I would still buy one of these cheap $25 airbrushes just to do priming and all the other stuff I don't want to use a nice one for. I gotta bust out all them greens I had last night to do this. I'm glad we decided to continue with this theme because I was not happy with with them looking red and black and everybody else being this like ghost theme.
I see.
Have you seen these? Like, here's where I'm at with the other guys. So they're kind of like a purple, a green purple iridescent, and then they're going to be accented with black to kind of make them look like ghostly.
Paint. It looks like a frosting or butter now. It's really weird.
What? What
No,
paint
I
are you
think
using?
it's like I'm watering it down and it's working. I mean, normally it's like a weird cream, so I have to water it down.
What paint is this?
Is on compounds. That's when I got
Oh,
it,
okay.
but I think it's the place I was storing it in that wasn't good enough.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Herbulus. Herbulus. Curset. Curset's pretty cool. Alright. So we'll get these guys all cut up real quick. So you go foul green, then you go that weird light blue color. I found that P3 makes three different kinds of flesh wash now. That was interesting. I saw these two bottles of flesh wash I didn't recognize that were P3 flesh wash, and they're very subtle in difference. So I'm gonna try one of those out at some point.
I had a bottle of that P3 flesh wash. It's pretty cool. It's just yeah, I didn't expect them to make more, but what do you think of it? Is it like do you think it's necessary that they have 3, or do you think it's over the top?
I like having. I felt like their standard flesh wash is a little too red for some things, so it's a good flesh wash, but I didn't want to use it on everything, even though I did. And so now I picked up one of the other ones. I want to see if it, like in these guys, I don't want to use a red flesh wash because it'll make them look too vibrant. Their skin, I want their skin to be like super pale. This is the most emo team ever. And we're going pretty fast through these guys. Okay, but that's... So now we're gonna do 2 different types of inks. Just a lot of stuff, man. Alright, and now... Where's that other... I need like turquoise ink. Where is it? Why is my turquoise ink?
I'm starting to like this model more and more. Painting on, like it's actually working out.
Yeah?
So nice.
It's cool.
The purple is actually working out because I wanted it to look like a regal instead of
Okay.
like standard steampunk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Purple.
That's cool. This is like so damn simple. Alright. And we just do purple ink. We are almost caught up. So you've been doing much gaming lately?
Wait, what's up, Octave? I couldn't hear you over the airbrush.
Oh, have you been doing much gaming lately? Yeah, why is my airbrush so loud right now?
And I've been working like crazy recently. The hours have been strange. I went to do a career day at my high school actually today.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it was. I should be free for the paint day though, so that's cool.
Sweet. So when you did the career day, you just basically like, do you have to get in front of a class and talk, or is like you have a little booth and you answer questions about your job? What does that usually do?
It was yeah, it was a mixture of both. It was high school and like an auditorium, and it's a small private school. Like,
okay,
there was maybe like 300 high schoolers in this auditorium, and then like you say your little like 15-minute presentation. After that, I was at a booth like answering questions if students had them directly. So that was about it.
Cool.
Because that's how I learned about my career, was at a career day. Not that same
cool.
high school, oddly enough. Yeah. Success stories of career day.
Nice. I don't think I could go back to my high school. That high school I think it's still open, but place is like a demilitarized zone, man. That neighborhood got rough. It got worse and worse. Okay. That was quick. Got us right back to where everybody else is now. Well, almost. I gotta do a little dry brush to get us all there, and then we'll all be there. And then we can start working on fancy stuff. 1 second. Nobody appears to be around tonight.
We're all asleep or celebrating Lunar New Year.
That's true. All them Chinese New Years.
Oh, my, so I put, like, the hat because it's I'm gonna be doing like a partly female Imperial Guard regiment,
Mm-hmm.
like patrol, and I feel like, you know, they actually need some representation because in the lore, it's like, yeah, the men and women of the Earth
Mm-hmm.
are fighting against all the tech, but there's no like female model, so that's why I was like, you know, I'll make like odd or something of just all female, like Imperial Guard. So yeah, my commissar is a girl too, but I put the hat on the base because it
Okay.
looks like it blew off her head in
Okay.
the wind. Yeah. It's like I'm 50% trolling the 40K community because they don't have like actual like good women model
They
or
don't.
models.
That's why I would get banned from Twitch from painting if I painted your model, because I'd be bitching about that the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, like even the ones that they have, it's like you
Oh,
said,
hey,
they're
what's up,
just
Nelson?
freaking tennis players basically
Yeah.
at that point. I'm like, dude, I don't, or like dark elves that aren't that are supposed to be like the most beautiful things you ever see, and they don't
That's
even.
yeah. That's the whole point. You
Yeah.
don't like, unless maybe all the GW guys like maybe their perception is like Martina Navratilova. A bunch of like guys in the UK. You know who's fucking hot, mate? Martina Navratilova.
Well, let me tell you what.
Let me tell you what. We'll put some spikes on her.
Don't worry about it. I got this one.
Don't worry about it.
GW is turning over a relatively new leaf. Like, did you hear about the what happened at LVO?
No.
A big
Oh.
LVO, right?
Yeah.
There was this one guy who like basically was being that guy, like just the complete.
Oh yeah. I think I know this story. Go ahead.
What ended up happening is, have you ever heard of League of Legends? It's like this really big video game right now. It's like top of the esports and stuff like that.
Yep.
Here for League of Legends saw that he was watching that game at LVO and offered the guy who got like shafted $. He's like, yo, I feel bad for you. That's not cool. I'll be on your side. Instead, I'll give you $5,000. Well, the guy who got shafted was like, nah, dude, give it to charity. Here's a children's hospital. Donate it to that.
Okay.
W hopped on and matched that and donated to a children's hospital.
Yeah, and there was another person that matched it too, right? His employer matched it, and then GW matched it too. So he ended up making 15 grand for a hospital, right?
It's like, damn, that's pretty dope.
What happened. Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel their game, like, they're trying to streamline it. The stuff is still the same, like you said, like, you know, Vaulter, Strength 4 and all that, but like the to wound rolls and all that, like, they're changing it up. I feel like they're like, since they're under new management now, essentially be more community friendly. I mean, they still love money. It's GW, like, let's be real. But from being their 4th edition, seeing the dynamic change that has happened, like, I think that was one of the main reasons why I thought of picking it back up. I mean, they still have their faults, don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah,
where bringing back squats, they made like one model. I mean, hopefully they bring back the entire army, but who knows?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted them to forever, but now I don't want them to because I want my army to be worth money for my kid. So it's like, no, too late. Yeah, they probably will, though.
Chance.
You had your chance. Hey, what's up, Blade Wolf?
I think it's just a fun game if you don't take it seriously. For like, I can't see myself actually going to a tournament and trying to win. Because I don't feel like it's that type of a game. Ooh, bird.
Okay, like, We actually,
Free.
I don't think that's an insult though. Or I know maybe some people will think that's an insult. I don't think. I think that's just like, for example, I was talking to Chris about Batman today, and we both agreed that like we don't think Batman, you can play it competitively, but I don't think ultimately it should be. I don't think that's a very good rule set for competitive play, and he agreed with me.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like some games, they aren't rewarding to people. Like Guild Ball, that's a rewarding game to people who think strategically, manage their resources well. Like
Yeah.
that is a crisp system for competitive play.
Mhm.
And like the thing is, you could wait. Like you could force your luck by boosting stuff and all that jazz. Like
Yeah.
it matters. 40K on the other hand, it's like let's just roll some dice, have fun, like talk about our armies. I mean, like that's what I do
Right.
now with 40K. Like I don't really take the game seriously. Like
Yeah, I agree with you, Blade Wolf. It's Batman is a narrative game. And yeah, and Harry Potter. I don't think Knight. Yeah, I just don't think Knight makes. I don't think they have a tight enough system, like you were saying, Andrew. I think, like you're just talking about dice in Guild Ball, right? And what I was saying, like when I first started playing Guild Ball, is I said the dice in Guild Ball work the same as the dice in War Machine. In War Machine, you'll never remember when your dice hit the expected targets. You always remember when you have the critical fail, though, right? When you're hitting what you're supposed to be hitting in War Machine and in Guild Ball, you're like, okay, yeah, I should net 3 hits, and after armor, I'll net 2. Here's the column I'm gonna choose, right? It's stuff like that. Oh, ball should scatter like this, or I should make a goal. It's what the stuff that you remember, the stuff that sticks in your head is like, shit, I missed a 5-die tap in. Stuff
yeah,
like that.
About that, Friday. I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's.
I still love Friday. She's on any Brewers team I run, but damn, 5-die goal, man. What the hell?
That's a 5-die goal, yeah. But you see what I'm saying? That's what, like you were saying, that's what makes it a competitive system. Is it's really tight. It's if you're doing things right, you have a fair bit more control than you would, say, in 40K or even in Batman. You have more control of what could happen. So those games tend to be better for competitive play. There's still that. You still have the RNG in there. You still have to deal with it, but it's not the same thing as like 40K where the RNG can kind of determine really, really critical things in the game without you having much input either way.
Now there's rerolls. There's tons of rerolls and there's command points and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that helps it out. But I mean, if you miss like you roll a bunch of ones on your Terminator saves, like, well, wow, shit, your 500 point unit just goes to the shitter.
Right.
Like you said, dice matter than they do in others, like Guild Ball. I mean, yeah, you could command point reroll. You got stratagems now. You've got all that stuff. Like, but in its core, it's still a dice game. And I mean, like, the guy with weighted dice or just better rolling is gonna beat the guy who plays really smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you could say that about any game.
Right. I remember one of the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's not my bad. You go.
I was gonna say one of the major complaints with Relic Knights 1.5 that I got that Ninja Division got from the community is it was too too skill based. That was one of the complaints. Like, oh, the better player in Relic Knights, the better player is gonna win almost 100% of the time because you have 100% success rate on any of your abilities. You simply just have to collect the Esper for it. And so they made the argument that it's actually, yeah, you it's not an unpredictable system. It's almost like a perfect information system, and that can be bad for new players that have to play against experienced guys that can do whatever the hell they want in Relic Knights because they know their shit is going to work every single time. So how do you feel about that? I mean, that was one of the things that was accepted as feedback, was that idea that Relic Knights was almost too perfect a system in terms of it just ruling out luck.
You can finish up, my bad, and then I'll say my piece.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but that was one of the criticisms that people had.
I think you said you did something, you hit, you did damage, it was guaranteed. Like, milling the deck was a strategy.
Yeah.
That was something you had to think about and do. What really a lot of people didn't notice about Relic Knights, and that I caught on to relatively quick, is positioning. Positioning is everything in that game, where because everything's got guns that have range a million, like you can hit someone across the board, and that makes sense. It's a gun. Should be able to do that. It's anime.
Yeah, it's anime.
This is what it's supposed to be like that. Like you're shooting lasers. Lasers don't just stop after a certain distance. So I mean, it's a weird complaint, and the reason why I think you even got that complaint to begin with is because Relic Knights is based on anime. Take it seriously to begin with.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a hardcore, almost like you said, perfect system, where like what you say happens, it does wounds, it's guaranteed. You don't feel like there's any chance to it. There's almost no hilarity to it. Like normally in anime, some of the most memorable moments is when someone fails, and like it's hilarious, you know?
Yeah. It's true.
So I could see you. It's like there's no storytelling to it. It's like, yeah, I had the stuff to do. I shot your guy. Cool. That was it. I mean, like obviously we made it fun with like me Hardys and other stuff. Like, but that was just because we were messing around with the models and not with the system. So I feel
that
like
just made Jose mad when you said me Hardys.
Oh gosh.
He used to just freak out. Stop saying that. And then we would just troll him harder. Hey, me Hardys.
Harder, she.
But yeah, we gotta we'll break it out again. We gotta play some arcade, especially before Kingdom Con, because I want to run a Relic Knights tournament there, which is really just gonna be people in this feed. We'll play in the Relic Knights tournament.
I feel like that's what Wrath of Kings is gonna be too.
Which is rad though. No, you might. There's some people in San Diego that play it. You might see a few people play it. Shit, I'm playing in that. I want to win that shit.
Hear what you said?
Oh, I was saying there's some people in San Diego that play Relic Knights, so you might get.
Yeah, you keep cutting out. I cannot hear.
Really? I wonder what's going on. Am I still cutting out right now?
Now. Oh, shoot. Well, there goes I just knocked my pallet. Sure was on that pallet.
Good God.
Well, ooh, that's a mess now. It's okay. It's all within a paper bowl. So my pre-game paid off. I was like, I'll put it all in a bowl, so in case I get all over, it's just gonna be with this paper bowl. So yeah, I'm gonna go clean this. Blade
Wolf says, at least it would be a good-sized tournament. Yeah, we'll get if we get 6 people for Wrath of Kings and the same 6 people play Relic Knights the night after. That's good. All right. So I'm still building up the black. Like, I almost don't... I like this scheme so much, I don't want to do too much more. If that makes sense. Weird. I'm just gonna fill in, like, belts and stuff. But I don't really want to do too much to this. So this scheme is like, you can tell. I mean, it's kind of there. It's like that ghostly iridescent blue. Happy Chinese New Year. But yeah, it's gonna be, so you can see right now that it's sort of mostly it'll be black with this weird sort of ghostly iridescent thing to it. So like Vet Graves, you see his vest here is going to be black, his boots will be black. But all the pants and all the undershirt and all that stuff is going to be the weird, like, ghostly color. Still looks fairly emo. That's what I'm going for. I need emo Morticians. Oh wow, why did I... This is just, I'm trying to get used to, all the cool kids are doing this on Twitch now, where the camera points forward instead of down, and I'm so used to painting down like this so that you guys can see that you guys are totally missing it now.
All the cool kids on Twitch.
It's true. All the cool kids on Twitch they shoot the camera angle this way now. And I'm like, what? I want to be a cool kid. Yeah. I do think it's a better angle. I just So Grave Ghost Crew, yeah, exactly. Think like Lord of the Rings, you know, Army of the Damned type. Oh my god, I don't like it. Like, pick an angle and stick with it. All right, so I guess I'll do this area here black.
The purple actually turned out much better than I thought it was.
Nice. So did you guys all go watch Black Panther yet?
I'm going to this weekend, like maybe Saturday night or something.
Most of the reviewers and stuff that I saw really liked it. And then I saw a couple of bad reviews, which I thought were interesting. I always look at a bad review and go, okay, where's this person coming from? Is there, are their criticisms legit?
You're just trying to make headlines type of deal, you know?
Although
Easy
the guys,
beans.
some of the negative comments on it seem legit. They seem like, even though you don't agree with them, it does seem like the person is trying to defend their position at least. Actually getting the ink clog. You gonna watch it Sunday? Yeah, Blade Wolf, you can hop in if you want. If you want to hop in the on-air section, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I try to do like a sort of like a more open session once a week, where I'm in the on-air thing and you can hop in and say your piece. Yeah, dude, I was gonna talk to you, Andrew, about my new Union lineup and how fucking hilarious that shit is now. It's so damn fun.
Yeah, so how's it working out for you? I've seen the pictures.
I won the first 3 games with them that I tried. So yesterday, actually it's the first 4 games with them. I played a game with Jose earlier in the day on Thursday. And then
in and out.
what?
It's like I hear half a sentence and then it just goes to like nothing.
Oh shoot. Sorry.
You using for Discord? Because I think on the stream it's perfect. It's just the Discord.
Yeah, my audio is fine on the stream. Let me check the Discord set.
You're using the same mic.
I am using the same mic. It should be okay.
Because it sounds like crisper on the stream.
Hold on. Where is... There should be a dealio. What the hell? Definitely ocean. Okay, maybe it's under... Maybe it's just under my own settings. Ah! Hold on. Okay. Maybe I should be able to get at my own settings here. What the hell? Oh wait, here we go. Use your settings. Let me try setting it to that. How's...
Oh, perfect. That's way better.
Okay. Okay.
Like an immediate difference.
Okay. Cool. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's done really well so far. Played against Jose, his brisket team, and was, won that game, and then And then Cody and Nelson showed up, and Nelson was like, he wanted to watch me and Cody play, so Cody broke out his hunters. And that was a good game. I think, what was that? I think I won that game 12-5, I think. Either 12-5 or 12-8. And then I played Mark after that. Mark's Scalpel Morticians team, and won that 12-8, I think. 12-6. So they're all pretty good games, and that team is super fun. So
Mark can lay down the beat down if he needs to, so that's dope.
yeah, it's a really versatile team that's just kind of just hell bent on giving me good threat range. It gives me good threat range. It's got really good tools. You know, you get you have a built-in condition game with Minx handing out snare. You got Snakeskin to hand out poison. It's just a solid list. Nobody has an 8 kick, but you don't really need it because everybody kind of has a way to extend their own threat range.
Yeah.
And then you got Harry and Blackheart in there, so you got all kinds of just, you know, momentum teamwork freebies for everybody basically.
It's a good team. It's got a lot of good synergy.
So yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I think it's the one weakness to that team would be you know, goalies and just really sturdy beatdown teams. So I think they would struggle against farmers, and you know, if you had you know, those teams that can run goalies like engineers and alchemists and butchers, obviously.
Actually, I have a goalie now, or some sort of goalie type. So what you could do is, now you could do it better. You can have Millstone be hang back or something like that, and basically make the model a goalie. There's another guild identity that allows you to plant stuff. Start. So what you do is you put Tater.
Okay.
Token next to it. So now he has counter charge. And then you do. So at that point, it's like anyone who walks up between 8 inches of the goal is going to get counter charged. And then not only that, he's also affecting their kick. So now they've got Tater in their face. If he doesn't knock them down, he's engaging them from 2 inches away with his reach. So they can't technically hit him back if it's a normal kicker. And then at that point, they're shooting a terrible goal because he's got I think it's minus or +1 to your TM because of that ability. And then he's engaging with you. So we're talking about like a 5-up goal. So like farmers do have a goalie, it's just a lot.
Hello.
Hey.
Alright, I switched on in. I missed a portion of the conversation. I had to go get some ginger tea.
Alright. Welcome to the feed.
Yes, indeed. So you guys were talking about farmers?
Like a proxy goaler kind of, or a goalie where Millstone's like hang back ability, and then you use Tater's counter charge if he's next to a plant. And then you use the guild identity in which you plant harvest tokens before the game even starts. So you plant a harvest token by the goal. Have Millstone do the hang back ability, and then obviously you have like pressure up front. Buckwheat, which is actually a great goal, threat. Got pick 8, I think. Yeah. Buckwheat, maybe Arrow or someone else up front just doing the work, like the Lord's work, and then you got Millstone maybe in the back, they're both safe.
Yeah. I actually ended up sending over to my fiance because she was trying to make her farmers team a little bit better. It was where I was like sitting on the train heading back to San Diego and coming up with some ideas.
Okay.
So the team that I actually ended up coming up with, because she loves Wendell a lot. Like, that's her boy. I had to find a way in order to optimize Wendell and his plant's ability, while at the same time making all the crops still useful for other players. With Grange, Buckwheat, Harrow, Wendell, Jackstraw, and Millstone.
Oh wow.
At the same time too, I also had to think about her influence and how much she was doing. And farmers, after like doing a little combing through all their influences, characters that are just sinkhole for influence.
Oh yeah.
I think they have like 3.
They'll only like influence generators.
Yeah, it's like Buckwheat is a sinkhole, Wendell's a sinkhole, and so's Fallow. That's like 5 people with 0 influence at the start.
Yikes.
For those people where you have to have a whole bunch of crops like around just in order to start allocating extra influence to her. We have her started stock 0, and then build her up with influence just by harvest markers being around her.
Okay.
Same time too, Fallow's pretty good at getting stuck in with a lot of people. A person to be leaving you that soon. You throw grandma up in there and then it just messes with people.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time too, when you actually think about the way that the farmers play, and this is the reason why I was able to kind of exploit certain things about the farmers. Farmers have to be stuck together, unless you're like running pressure. For example, hunters, you can work in groups of 2, 3, or by yourself. Like, the entire community has to get together and make sure that, you know, stuck in. If your main fighter is going to be Wendell, he's the one that you have to basically keep fed the entire time.
Okay.
Weird way, it's like you're playing a person video games where you're just keeping the tank fed the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Able to like do other things and be able to get past like certain players, especially once you have them like beaten down. But at the same time too, I was looking at how many characters I can put together so that enough knockdown so that she doesn't have to worry about, you know, having to make sure that a person stays on their butt all the time. Books are ridiculous in here, but, you know, it's not too hard to maneuver. I do like Tater a lot. I did have a list for her because she likes Tater too, so I mean I had 2 lists where it's like either you take fully optimized, like we have crops everywhere, or you take your strike team.
be that kid and take everything. Like I used to roll Windle, Tater, Arrow, Jackstraw, taking buckwheat, but I only had the chicken at the time.
Yeah.
And they worked out pretty well. I mean, like Arrows plant crops every turn with grain.
Yep.
Grain can pop is all plant crops. Like, I think that extra bit of damage, because Windle, like, he can do some work. Like, I won games off of Window's snack time.
God, that thing is annoying as hell.
On quite a few games just based off of that. But the thing is, you need Tater to kind of like mess with the enemy line, because that counter charge is so strong. And then he's not
strong.
down.
I agree with you there, because Tater's a little pain in the ass.
Like he actually has a real model instead of he's like.
His Grim Reaper model.
His LE was a scythe, and now his like, he has his goofy little shovel, like a bag of potatoes on the arm. That's his real model.
Which is funny because my fiance said, "Oh, I have both Taters because like if I'm really mad at a person, they'll bring out the scythe model. If I'm just having fun, they'll bring out the model."
Oh, nice.
The one that just stands there and looks at all the girls like, "Hey, you know that you don't want to hit this pretty face." It's like, man, I gotta keep like some of my like all-female teams away from him now.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm a smug little face, but I can't.
You need tooled up though.
Like,
like in every list, you have to have them, because if you're taking pressure or Windle especially needs tooled up, just because every hit he gets like an extra free DMG.
Hmm.
Oops.
I think, you know, even though that people are saying, oh, you know, farmers are broken, I still think that there's ways around them. I mean, teams out there that could put the hurt on farmers, or at least get around them in a good way, that they're not like being beaten down.
Or like an auto win team. Just people saw that did well in the tournament and they were like, ooh.
I know, that's the unfortunate thing with people, because they automatically think, oh, farmers are the new unbeatable team, and I'm like, there's no such thing.
And like, I understand Thresher's a good model, but I mean, like, they had models like Hammer, who's straight up, he just
brutalizing him.
It doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are, he just looks, and he doesn't need much help at all.
Yeah,
like,
he can just go in there and...
ability.
Yep.
Like, there's always gonna be just good models. Like, I think it's just the mob mentality of, wow, this won a tournament. Like,
speaking of which, it is... I don't, with how strong I think Masons are, I still don't understand why it's been such a long time since they won a major tournament. Is it because people just aren't playing them? Oh, that's the newbie team, and they just ditch them? Or...
Well, I think so. I think the new hotness type deal affects everything.
And I noticed on like some of the more the organized scenes, the Masons, maybe it could be the players too. The people that stick with Masons tend to be, at least on the larger scene, they tend to be more casual players. But they're sitting on top of what I consider to be one of the best teams in the whole game.
Oh, hands down, Masons are up there. Like, I'm just surprised. You're right. Like, no one's really playing. They're ridiculously strong. They have the best defenders in the game, Marbles and Brick. They have one of the best solo beat sticks, Hammer. They have one of the best like team player captains, Honor. And
oh, she's the best team player captain. Yeah.
Yeah, She has linked, for Christ's sake. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you have to be blind to not see that, like, Mason's, like, ridiculously strong. Even their mascot, Marbles, is ridiculous. Like, love creature, goad, counter charge. Like, excuse me?
Yeah. And assist. Honor's got assist Marbles, which is disgusting.
Exactly.
Which.
Realized.
And you use the counter charge specifically to mark the, just to mark the guy. Not that it's a bad counter charge, but being able to mark your guy and then throw honor at that person is disgusting.
And, like, people don't realize that out there, no one really wants to play them.
Thing that I always hated about Marbles was the fact that whenever I had to go up against him, the worst situations I always had was that he would go to me first, I get stuck in, and then all of a sudden I get body checked by Brick. Situation. And that was like when I was playing Fish, which made it even more embarrassing because it's like, I don't want to get any closer to that monkey. The next thing I know, it's like, great, do I just stand here and then take the body check from, like, Big Boy?
Wait, where the hell did my
the monkey try to slap it, but of course then you don't win. You don't win in beating up a monkey.
No. You just make the whole team better when you do that. I can't wait for people to hit Marbles. I can't wait. It just makes me happy. Like, I'm secretly, like, yes. Because if you hit Marbles, you're giving everybody on the team +1 tack. If you don't hit Marbles, you're giving honor +2 tack.
Yep.
Those are your options. Do you want to die, or do you want to die a different way? Yeah. Those are your choices.
It's like, he's so strong. I know people look at him and say, he's alright right now. It's like, no, he's still a strong mascot. I know people are like, yeah, but Salt gets to run across the board. Yeah, but look at what happens to Salt if he's alone. Instantly look at Salt and say, we're putting you on a spit right now. Across the board for you. We're gonna kill you right now. I mean, Marbles? He does work.
Marbles, Season 1 and 2 Marbles was better than probably the bottom 30% of players in Guild Ball.
Like, they have a choose who's, like, the best mascot going on right now and the voting type stuff. So far, everyone that has voted for, like, certain characters kind of agreed on, some of the choices that, I looked at and I was like, yeah, I honestly like this character a lot. Well, I like the certain mascot a lot better than others. I mean, I understand Quaff is really good, but Scum was one of the most painstaking cats ever.
Oh, I love Scum.
I mean,
that mascot's hilarious.
In so many dangerous ways, and then when you, like, tool up and do, like, other things, that cat is dangerous. I still like Wrecker.
Wrecker's a really good mascot. The only reason why we don't, the only reason why Mason's players don't field Wrecker more is because we already have Marbles. That's a tough mascot to replace.
Out something that's already good.
Yeah, and Wrecker is a starting mascot on almost any other roster.
And I love his rollerball and follow-up, and that's not the ball abilities, but...
Yeah.
Ooh.
I still field him, though. I'll still field Wrecker even with Honor in certain occasions where I want better where I want to have better ball control, and I want to be able to disrupt a high-scoring team, he's perfect for that. Granted, yes, you can do that with marbles and be very successful, but there's specific things that you can do with Wrecker that are great. He's just a lot more corner case than marbles, which you could just take against basically anyone, and you know you have a good mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my sister came home with help her out with some stuff.
No worries.
We're just talking about the different mascots and who's good and who's in the lower tier.
Marbles are definitely up there.
Yep.
Top
Sure.
tier.
Scum is...
Scum's top tier.
Walker's...
He's good.
I like the fact that Scum can dodge trouble. Like, he's a
Yeah.
hard... Appreciate it when a mascot's not just an easy point.
Mhm.
So... I mean, like, Marbles is innately not an easy point because if you attack them, like, they get you. So... That just innately makes him hard to pin down.
They're just one of my favorites for... I understand the rat swarm, but...
Isn't he the one who, like, can fly over stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's a... oh, look, I have the ball. Inside the field.
I
he's
love,
like 10 or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I also think I think the Union have two really good mascots also. Coin is super good, and Strongbox is also worth taking. I would say Flask is a fairly terrible mascot right now.
The funny thing is, I still use them when I have to use Veteran Catalyst.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not using Veteran Catalyst, I'm using regular Catalyst, I use Naja.
Naja is a really good mascot just for burying the ball. Kind of along the lines of a Scum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just providing a crowd out.
Yeah, this is true. The choices between what you call it, Salt and Tentacles. I'm sorry, my boy Salt has worse scores and all than Tentacles. I like Tentacles for the fact that you could basically be like, give me up, bye.
The reason
Off to people.
Yeah, the reason you take Tentacles is for the blind. It's just far superior goal threat range. Like he's got goal one, like turn one threat almost all the time.
Is your blinding turret. To the one person that you know that could possibly live, and you just have them shoot ink at people.
He's still a pretty easy takedown though, unfortunately. Like someone else who's not blind can just like knock him down and kill him. He's pretty easy.
Fried calamari!
Exactly. Nani?
Octopus tonight.
He's not too hard to knock down and just... And by knockdown, I mean that, like take out. It's pretty easy points. Marbles is probably... Marbles and Salt, they're tied for best mascot.
I mean, like, for different reasons, but they're...
If you said what's the best scoring, Salt, hands down.
Assault.
Right? But if you said what's best team
Just
player,
best mascot. Yeah.
yeah, well, straight up, literally best mascot, I'd say it's Marvel.
On Salt.
Hmm.
On Score, which is like disgusting for people.
It's hilarious though when it works out. You're just like, wow, I didn't think that little otter rat thing could do that.
It's like you use what was the lineup that I used? Combo that I ended up using was Shark, Ek, Salt, and I think even just to pull him all the way up the board, and then the last portion of it is just him scoring.
Yeah, because he
All
has
over
words in
town.
code too. He's a sneaky little guy.
But then afterwards, everyone's trying to kill him, and it's like hide the Salt.
But even then, it's like he's 5 defense. It's no easy task to kill Salt, and like he could just counter attack and dodge away.
True.
It's like it takes quite a few resources to actually bring him down.
Hmm.
Out of the engineers, do you think Mainspring's better than Mother, or Mother's better than Mainspring?
From what engineer players tell me, Mother is infinitely better than Mainspring.
That's what I think
It's
too.
the trapdoor spider aesthetic, isn't it?
Heard things about
Explosions.
better.
First Strongbox, I didn't know what to make of him. He's a slow turtle, but it's like he's a walking resource battery.
Yeah, like Coin. They're
Yeah.
both amazing mascots. You don't, and you don't. They're some of the best mascots without influence. You
They
just
don't need any.
walk them around and they're awesome.
It's just an aura buff.
Although I did almost score a takeout last game with Coin.
Nice.
That was
Wait, what?
kind of hilarious. I almost scored a takeout with Coin.
How?
Mark did, he did whatever Scalpel's player playbook is to take. He took like 1 influence away from Decimate and put it on Coin, right? And so then like later in the round, Blackheart got he wore down 2 players and killed Scalpel and left. I forget who it was. Left. I think it was Cosset. Left Cosset on 3. And so then I went over and smacked Cosset with the snack, and almost did 3. Like, I could have killed her with the snack. Because he moved the influence over there, which was the smartest thing for him to do at the time, but
Yeah.
I was gonna punish him for that shit.
People don't realize is they'll position a model by something that only has like 1 or 2 influence, and then you just use that Blackheart misdirect, and they're like, what?
Mm-hmm. Like, oh shit.
It's going over there.
I liked playing Blackheart, but I think Vet Rage is more my playstyle. I just like beating stuff up.
Yeah,
That's
that.
fair.
I need to pay you for Vet Rage. I have
I
all
thought
your
you
stuff
paid
in
me
my
for a
shop.
bit. Huh.
I gave you like $11. I didn't pay for like the painting and stuff.
Oh.
Everything that was in my wallet.
Take my wallet.
Most of the meta agrees that Vet Rage and Brisket are. They think they consider those two to be more effective captains than Blackheart, and I don't agree with the Brisket part. I don't.
I think Blackheart's more of a team player than Brisket. Brisket's a super solo kicker, but I mean, in Union, they have a lot of solo kickers. Like, you don't need
Right.
that. You need the support that Blackheart and Rage can give. I'm still looking for. I'm trying to perfect my Rage game. Like, I'm looking for more beat sticks on the team because I mean, I got A and G, and then I got Rage, and that's about it. Like, I think I might need to get Minx again just to really.
Minx as your debuffer, and man, don't count Decimate out, dude. She can really put in that work.
Though I just don't understand her.
Oh, she can do everything. She's like I look at Decimate like she's a miniature honor for me. It's like, oh, I got mini honor on this team. That's how highly I think of Decimate.
Did you guys look at the mascot comments for which mascot is a fan favorite?
No.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the community.
And there's like a war going on.
Who do you like more, dogs or cats? And
no, it's like
people took that too far. They're like, excuse me.
There's a war going on in here.
Some angry pet fanatics.
It's kind of comical, honestly. Because, like, you look at what happened with Salt and Tentacles, and some people are like, hooray, hentai, and then other people are like, all hail veteran Salt. I'm like, that's fine. You know, that's been the talk of the town the entire time. And the cat versus dog situation, that poll is too close to count.
Yeah, I didn't even vote because I knew it would be a war. I was like, nope, I'm gonna dodge this one.
And I just voted for Princess because that's the dog I always had problems with whenever I was playing Fish.
The Princess is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Rolls up on you and tries to eat you.
And you don't see the pig used much, but I like the pig. The pig is also cool.
Yes. I mean, I probably would use them, but it's like not often. A demented warhog.
Right, he has tough hide. It's pretty cool.
So him being the demented warhog.
Armadillo around either, but he's great board control. I think it's just because Marbles is.
Yeah. This is a badass.
Marbles is just so much more versatile.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like. Yeah, I guess you probably weren't here for this part, Andrew. I basically was saying, yeah, Wrecker is a starting mascot on any other team.
Yeah.
But because he has to compete with Marbles for the playtime, that's the issue.
Like, Wrecker is such a good mascot if you really think about it. You don't really need to give him anything. Pushing models all over the place, and he's fast too, like ridiculous. And he's tanky too, like 3 armor or something. Yeah, no, Mason's a blast.
And you could get him to 4 armor on Honors Legendary. That's hilarious. Which, if you, I did this in a mess around game where I did get him to 4 armor, and then what I did with him is I just trolled the sidelines, and if anybody was too close to the edge, you just rollerball them off the board.
Exactly, like
because if you're like, control. Yeah, you can't push because you're not gonna push an armor 4 model off the board.
Gosh, no. I wouldn't even think of that. I'd just walk the other way. Forget that thing.
Yeah. Even Midas would be like, damn, I don't think I can move that thing off the board.
Yeah, no, Masons are super strong. I'm surprised, yeah, you have a point. Why aren't they being played in tournaments more? Like,
yeah, how come you don't see Masons? You don't see much Mason representation, especially in the big tournaments.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think almost everyone's going for that hot new meta.
Yeah, it's for there's definitely an element of that. And yeah, like Masons seem like permanent old news to people because they're considered like one of the starter teams.
Fair to the Masons because it's like, they actually were built really well when they first came out, and they still hold true to, like, who they are.
Yeah.
Tile team that actually can go the distance in the scoring game, but yet at the same time can beat someone up if they really needed to.
They're just so damn flexible.
Yeah, and they have the best of most things. Like they have
Hmm.
the best mascot. They have one of the best solo beat sticks. Like
They have
can't
and
argue
they have
with it.
really good playbooks. Almost all of them have momentous tackles that are low, and they usually in the second or third column have a momentous 2, which is super reliable.
Yep. We're like the first team to have the extended range 3 at hit attack.
Yeah.
Big news when people were like, wait, it can hit me from like range 3 reach?
Yeah. That was your obelisk stopper back in the day. It's like, how the hell
That's
do you
one of
get
the
this?
complaints.
What?
It's a Threshers. Dude, the guy's got range 3. I'm like, my boy, Mason's had that since the beginning.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's like people just woke up to this entire situation now.
Upsetting to me. I'm like, guys, come on.
But
They're not that good.
no, they're not. I mean, they're good, but shoot, like, come on. Everyone's seen something off the wall insane in like a game. This is like old news. It's just that it's repackaged and looks shiny on top of it. Really, like they're hot and snow in the round 3 of the mascot. Truth be told, I love snow a lot more than I love Fahad.
Yeah. I actually like Fahad more than I like Snow.
Yeah,
So
I don't have an
small.
opinion on this one. I don't really play hunters much, and I haven't seen a deeply impressive turn with either of those mascots. But that just, I don't know. Most of the hunter guys that play up here don't really rely on their mascots for much.
Oh yeah. The reason why I like snow is because if people accidentally drop the ball or if things go awry and snow's within the area, Ball just like gives you ball control right back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like using Snow as a mid-ground character in order to recapture something that ends up getting lost, and at the same time using, what was the other ability? Pack or something like that?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it does, but it's pretty good.
Basically gets the character away from a bad situation that it doesn't want to be in. Reality. Dodge for a character that had suffered damage.
It's pretty dope.
Just
yeah, it's
as I know that a lot of the times people always overextend, and Snow kind of fixes that overextension.
actually Mark almost got me with that. Like he had the wolf pack thing going, and then but I was playing Brewers, so he dodged an inch. Like, well, Tapper's gonna continue to beat up Herd.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Taver's like, I still have this.
He's not. I hate to say this. I actually meant to be just a solo beat stick. Like he's supposed to just get that commanding aura out, and then
Oh, Tapper.
yeah, because I mean, yes, he could do tons and tons of damage and one-shot weaker characters, but when it comes to like comparing him to a hammer,
Mm-hmm.
all about himself. He's about like making the team better with that commanding aura, mark target, knocking people down. His like old Jakes.
Old Jakes, I love that.
Certain thing.
So
There's been so many situations where I've seen old Jakes just turn into like pot to make sure that someone's dead. They throw old Jakes on Pint Pot and have Pint Pot charge in. Same city for that one character. Unless they have a lot of HP.
Prefer Pint Pot or Hooper? I like Hooper if something.
Hooper.
Okay, I like Pint Pot if I need that. Like, I think I'd run Pint Pot with and Hooper with Tapper. The way to do it.
I completely agree with that. Esther's is one of those characters that is a Wii caster, which is like I'm making sure that everyone.
Like Esther's a lot actually. I feel like I need to play her more, but Tapper just got that place in my heart.
I hear you.
And I won't blame you because, man, like, people try to run up on Tapper, and that knockdown is right in the second column, so he's just, like, ready for people.
I think is much... I hate to say it, I'm gonna say it. Esther's is a much better captain than Tapper. Ooh, man. I feel like I'm skin crawling with that one.
Whoa!
I feel my skin crawling with that one, but no, she can lay down the beatdown just as hard as Tapper, but she could essentially give herself the +1 damage, get tooled up from Spigot, and then give other people either give Friday +2 speed, or give someone else like Pint Pot +1 damage.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, Esther's is beating the crap out of people. Like she's doing 4 damage on 2 hits. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
She has a knockdown 2 damage too. So tooled up plus her sing, you're looking at a knockdown 4 damage.
Yeah.
And then everything else is like, and she's got a short playbook. She's got a 4 playbook. We're talking about an average of 7 damage on a knockdown target. So like 7 damage a swang, actual 4. And she can lay down rough terrain. She could put down the fire. Ridiculous. She's an amazing captain. I'm surprised a lot of people don't play her that much.
They got reliable on Tapper.
So
they got used to that 2-inch reach. Haha, you can't touch me type deal. I mean, I know some people that swear by Tapper and everything, and I'm like, that's perfectly fine because, you know, you get used to a captain and you're like, no, this is my captain, I'll never change. Trust me, I had the same problem when I had, like, you know, introduced into Fish. I didn't want to change from Shark. I was, like, so happy with Shark and what his capabilities were. Once I actually picked up Corsair and started using him, I was like, okay, I can understand the reason why people actually like him.
Yeah, he's the fact that he has a range, like, pretty dope. Change I agree or something like that.
Esther's with her short playbook, she can put in some work if she really, like, hit the mark.
She's disgusting. Like you saying yourself, you got tooled up. That's +2 damage net. You charge. You sometimes shoot. You don't even need a charge because people don't expect Esther's. They won't respect her. So you could just walk up there, 2 damage knockdown, which turns to 4 damage knockdown, and now you're doing like a wrap, basically guaranteed 7 damage a swang. How disgusting that is! Like you could take that basically anybody. Take about 5 influence. And I mean, if you don't finish off someone with that, you have the good brawler. He's one that not a lot of people expect. So if you tool up Spigot, him too, that's another guy who's doing ridiculous damage. Like he gets more attack if the person's knocked down. So you can go in with Esther's first, knock them down 2 damage, sing to Hooper. I mean, sorry, to Spigot. Spigot tools up himself. Now he's doing like he's tacked 7 or 8 when someone's knocked down. I don't remember exactly. It's ridiculous though.
I thought Hooper had that rule.
Extra damage. Spigot gets extra.
Oh yeah. He gets shoved the boot in.
Let me see exactly. I'm gonna go to
So
DB
Spigot
right
gets.
now. Another offhand beat stick that no one really knows about, and I should be abusing way more. So he's got a short playbook too. He's got on 4.
Spigot, yeah.
On 4, a 3, a momentous 3. Right? He's tack 5 base. When a model is knocked down, he gains +2 tack. So we're looking at a 7 tack book model here.
I wonder having to deal with them hurts.
Up himself and then get Esther Sing. So we're talking about 5 damage a swing on your 4th. If you wrap, we're talking about 8 damage a swing.
No wonder these guys hurt.
If you get a full wrap, like let's say you Yahtzee and they don't have any arm. Oh, actually, if they have armor 1 and you still Yahtzee, you get every single hit because they're knocked down, right? It's just not too hard to get. You're looking at, so you're getting your momentous 3, which turns to 5. Then you're getting a non-momentous 2, which turns to 4. Damage.
Now that I'm actually sitting down and going through with it with you guys, that's the reason why I noticed a lot of people that were like, brewers are my safe spot. Look.
Brewers are... I'm not gonna short play my brewers. It's just you have to know. You can't look at them one-dimensionally. You can't look at Spigot as like, oh, that's my guy who gives me speed buff and tooled up. No, like that guy could lay the hurt down. He can make a goal. Like Spigot is your bread and butter.
Good.
Yeah.
Character.
Never discount Football Legend. I fucking love that ability.
Like, yeah, I feel like that's something. They will discount a brewer as being this. So like Esther's, for example, no one expects her to be a beat stick, yet next thing you know, she's freaking doing 7 damage a swing.
She's powerlifting you multiple times, throwing you over her shoulder, and then keg tossing you across the field.
She's ridiculous. I think Esther's, if you take Esther's, I don't know if I'd say quaff. Like, let me look, because I ran an Esther's list.
Second win, especially if someone's like lagging behind.
Esther's either scum or quaff, depending on what you want to do with the ball. So like, if you want quaff to just be there to give you bag of quaffers, which is totally understandable. I mean, one can use +1 tack. And I think it's like a free momentous thingy too with bag of quaffers. And then Friday for sure. And here's why. You use Empowered Voice for +2 speed. Use your Spigot ability, which is, I think it's Time's Called, for another +2 speed, so you'll get +4 speed. Friday will do her Shadow Light, which is a dodge.
Yep.
Too. So we're looking at, she's base 8. Satellite, that's base 10. Then you do those 2 buffs, she's 14 speed, walking. You do, I shoot better after a beer, +1, +2 to kill. Looking at, she's she's running 14 up the board, and she's kicking at 410. Like, what?
She,
you know,
she's a beast.
That is, it's literally like, you have 24-inch goals.
No, she could be kicking at 5'11", dude.
It's true.
Spigot's nearby.
Spigot's nearby. If you thought that far ahead, but the thing is, Spigot, you need to start in Spigot's aura for Time is Called.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
that's true. But still, I used to love doing that in second season with Flint, is kicking 11-inch goals on people. Because you're like, what the hell? Ball's midfield. I'm kick goal. Just kick it from the middle of the board. Like,
See,
what
that's
the shit?
thing. Yeah, it's a 3x3 board.
See, you
and
guys
the
are like
goals-
helping me out because I have like brewers sitting around. Like I've been meaning to paint them. I have esters because esters was like the first I looked at. It's like, oh well, if I'm actually gonna like paint a Guinness themed team, I'm gonna go with esters. And now like going through these things slowly, I'm like, oh okay. And characters that I was like, well, maybe I could put in this person because I know I like MASH. I like the way MASH looks. I know that he isn't the most reliable.
Talk about
It's
Max.
like,
Oh, dude, trust me. He is so good if you run him with Esters.
okay.
Like, ridiculously good. Here's why. Okay. So first off, he goes to armor 2 with Esters. Right? Unpredictable movement. So he's ridiculously hard to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Time is called, and then Esters sing. You're looking at movement match with a goal threat of, if you use super shot, 1+1+2. So you're moving 10 inches, and your goal threat is 3-8. I mean 4-8. 18-inch goal threat on MASH alone. And his how was that is so good. A 4-inch push with a knockdown. And it's momentous too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it, again, you could all the same rules apply for before tooled up and sing. You're looking at, again, with that short 4 playbook, this 3, and then a momentous 2 with a knockdown at the end of the playbook. So that goes up to like 4, depending on if you want the momentum or not. And then here's another thing that a lot of people forget about MASH is volley threat. Because of an enemy goal, this model spends 1 less momentum to make a snapshot. You pass it to MASH, he just gets to make a free snapshot.
Oh, nice.
It's the mission objective, just get MASH up the board, which is easy because Esther sings to him, and then you use time is called. You're huffing it 8 inches up the board, and if he's the one who did the kickoff, he's already at the goal, like threat range. And then you just pass him the ball, and he's like, boom. Basket.
Song of his people.
Like, he has unpredictable movements, so if anyone tries to stop him, he just moves away.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
unpredictable on a 2-inch melee, right?
And the thing is, so basically what you could do is, if Friday already made a goal, and MASH is up there, if you're quick enough, you could get the ball back, pass it to MASH, make another goal, and then kill someone and you win. Like, or kill like 2 people and you win, which isn't hard to do. It's like Friday makes a goal in one activation because she's a super solo. Ash is just up the board threatening the goal. So anyone who could pass to him, it's basically almost a guaranteed goal. The ball up there, and then you have all your killers like Esther, Spigot, a Pint Pot, and stuff just to clean up. It's ridiculous. Yeah, no, Brewers are strong. It's just another underestimated team that no one really thinks about.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I have to like figure out what do I really want to run once it comes to Kingdom Con, because now I have like 4 armies.
Brewers. I might run Esters just because I run Tapper for everything else. So we will see.
Like, let's see, because I'm keeping Friday. I know that much. Spigot. Okay, but you know, after you explain MASH, I think MASH is gonna do a lot better.
Disgusting. Like, how to put it? He's one of those, like, if you're not expecting him to do work. Like I was saying, he just sits next to the goal from 8 inches away, and it's off of a pass. Like, he doesn't have to do anything. I passed him the ball, he's making a snapshot for free.
Yeah, you could Midas is the same too. You could do that with Midas, but people
Yeah.
don't like Midas being back that far. People see it coming a mile away.
Thing is, you still have Friday for that freaking 24-inch goal threat. Like, what the heck, right? Mash and
I'm
Friday
still
are
laughing.
ridiculous. I think those are staples, especially with Esters. That's up to you. Like, if you're a real fan of the Pat Cat, have you heard of that before?
I haven't heard of that.
It's you have Scum, or like it's at the beginning of the game. Scum will who are the one kicking off. Scum will kick off. Ready, right? He could then do. I think he has Shadow Like or something. Charge someone,
He does.
and then you push them towards your team. And then,
Oh yeah,
obviously,
I heard about this.
you have Esters and like everybody else ready to just murder that guy. And now you have a turn or a round one kill, and you have more momentum than your opponent because you farmed that champion. Or sorry, that player. So you use the cat to threaten whoever got the ball, receive the ball from the kickoff. Have Esters or Spigot give you the speed you need in order to get to them. You just farm momentum or kill them, and there you go. You got 2 victory points, and then almost a guaranteed start to the next turn. It's a really good strategy. So if you're going for Pat Cat, then you go Scum, of course. But if you just want that +1 tack, sure, Quaffers is another good one.
Thing is, I get rid of Stoker.
Honestly, I will be honest about that one. That is a model I do not like. I feel like he doesn't really fit.
Yeah, most people feel like Stoker is
Because-
just too oddball.
Yeah, I don't like him.
He's an oddball type character because I guess they were like figure out ways of adding another beard character, except that they went like, oh, let's make a pyrokinetic person. I was
He's
like,
one of the coolest one theme-wise, but you don't really...
fit in a proper sense.
Yeah.
They get a third captain in, they might fix that.
You can do what Stoker does, but better. Monsters can light people on fire just as well.
Yep.
It's one of those deals where I had to like keep going through different ideas in order to try to figure out, you know, who actually works with what. I mean that makes a lot more sense and figure out
Stoker is the
What?
Mercury for
run.
brewers.
Like, actually. My commissar turned out okay.
I'll give Mercury a little bit more credit.
He's not terrible, he just doesn't fit the squad. He doesn't do enough for the squad to justify his spot on the team.
Exactly.
Although, if I can't take Harry, I might put him back in the lineup.
I will say Smoke came out, I was all about Smoke, even though that everyone was... Yeah, it's like everyone loves Smoke, and I'm like, Captain.
Everyone still loves Smoke.
Dope. Yeah, they
She was the captain that I looked at, and it's like type of captain that I want, where I can put all the different, you know, type stuff out there and just spread it around.
Man. Let's be real. That's why everybody loves Smoke. Let's be real.
That's the reason. It's
the Lord.
Oh.
Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest.
Just throw that vape out there and just start smoking it.
That's why Mark loves Smoke.
The queen of vape.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing with Mark and he's like, yeah, dude. I'm running the lesbian team. I was like, you know what? I respect that. And it's true. I read the lore on it, and it's so interesting. Like the alchemist perspective does stuff, and then there's the brewers, and they're just like, we drink and fight, and that's about it. I think it's like refreshing to just have a guild that does so well and not give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. They even said, like, the people who wrote the lore, they wanted it to feel like Sons of Anarchy, where it's, yeah, there's power plays here and there, but like in all reality, it's they care about it's more than anything else. Like Lucky, for example, is care about Lucky, and they don't care about his past or the fact that he technically can play for the Masons whenever he wants. Just care about the game and like him as a person. So I don't know. I feel like that's why I like the guilds a lot, is their lore too. Ash became a member of the roster because Tapper and I think it was Tapper and Spigot were like joking around with Mash. Someone threw like a whiskey bottle at him, and he hit it with the cricket bat like right at Tapper's head, and if Tapper didn't dodge, like that would have been it. And he's like, wait, we need to get you on the field. Like, we need to get you on the field. Like, that's the thing. Is like, that's so much as their lore is just so like hilarious and chill.
They do have a really good lore.
Like, Tapper will just get into such a stupor that he sits down and talks to Scum and is like, yeah, that's a good idea. He's like, that's a great idea.
Man's like talking to his cat again.
It's like people are like, wow, that's dumb. And Scum, even their mascot is so cool. It's like it's just a cat that wandered onto the field and Tapper adopted it. Like, how dope is that?
That is pretty dope.
The funny thing that I noticed is that a lot of these mascots, the team was just like, nah, he's cool. Why would I do this to this animal? I mean, like, you look at Truffles. Truffles looks like an animal that should be put out of its misery, and of course, he's cool. It's like, it's a fucked up looking pig, but he's cool by me.
It's S&M pig.
It's the baddest pig on the block. Getting him into bacon.
I think
still trying to.
The butchers. I would be more game to play them. Like they're my playstyle, just pure beatdown. The thing is, I don't really like their lore.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I understand why they do what they do. The butchers are supposed to be like, we're the edge lords type of team. You know, they're like they're more edge lord, less
York.
Yeah. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they've got good lore, and like the whole like becoming crazy is a very well written piece. Like, there you go, that's cool. It's just I prefer the chill nature of the brewers to like the. There was a piece of lore where Billet and like Boar was having none of it. He's like, I'm supposed to be the new captain, and then Tenderizer walks in, like big old white knight. He's like, step away from the girl. I'm like, guys.
I mean, if you tell the lore like that, it's a lot more interesting.
He tips his fedora. He
does. He did a fedora
the
tip.
White mask. He's like, step away from the girl, or you regret it.
Regret it.
You regret it. Come if you want me.
Come on, Brisket. I got you.
Then, like, Boars just... there's just a bunch of angry people. Like, I feel like that's
pretty
what
much.
Everyone's angry.
Look at a bunch of angry people, and then you have a bunch of people that suffer from malpractice. You look at the Morticians, and it's like, did everyone like screw up their life somehow?
Yes.
He looks like he's always undead. Casket's like in the box.
Though they have that like that scheming to them, and I like that. I like the fact that they're the faction that's like, oh yes, we'll scheme and plan and like rig matches, and I like that. I feel like that's something that they would do. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Obelisk, the master tactician. Deal.
Obulus is one of the most interesting guys in the entire story.
And he knows like all the ins and outs of everybody, like because that's his job. Like, he is the observer. He is the Obelisk. You know. They did that very well. The Butchers, on the other hand, like, I understand they're the red team. They're supposed to be the angry edgelords, like beating people up, like, you know, not following the rules. But I think they played it too hard. I think the Ox going crazy was cool, but the fact that almost everybody in Butchers is supposed to be crazy and like deranged and upset, I didn't like that. I was like, how about this one? I mean, I know that I think Shank is like the more chill one on the team, if I recall. It's been a while since I read the lore. Master of cutleries or something, but he's always getting beat up, like literally.
Yeah. Yeah, even in the matches, Shank is always the one getting.
She's the one who gets shit on. Like, it literally, like in one of the matches, it said like Hooper just showed up. Like, Tapper knocked him down, and then Hooper showed up and like broke every single one of his ribs.
Yeah.
That was it. That was all for him. And Philip was like, I can't control this team. They're going crazy.
Philip was annoying in that story. Everybody better follow me.
Listen up, or else my white knight tenderizer will give you a stern talking to. And I was like, guys. I just couldn't. After that, I couldn't get behind Butchers. I hate to say it like that. I have them. They're just not built. They're in the box.
Like, stay in the box.
It's that bad. It's that bad. I just look at Brewers and I'm like, I love you. Why did I ever think about leaving you? Girl, I might have had the prostitute's number in my phone, but I didn't call.
Yeah, by that token, the Masons lore is pretty boring too. It's like, yay, we win, but no, we don't like each other anymore. Yay. And it's like, Honor's so good. At least they did something interesting with her character.
Honor's the most interesting out of them.
And Hammer, they're trying to make him interesting.
It's like, I don't know.
They're trying to make him. I don't know though. He's like, eh.
Good. I think Honor's lore is written well.
Yeah.
Funny that like the bookkeeper of like all things Guild Ball. He has to talk about. It's like, let's go back to the oldest man that has played the game. It's like, hi. You want to learn about the game of Guild Ball? It's like, geez, man, do you scope out everybody?
He literally has. I think he's the most loved in the scene. In the lore wise, not like actual like real life.
Yeah.
But like in the lore, everybody knows and respects Grayscales. Everyone knows him.
That's true.
But what caused him to go into depression again? Like, I remember there was like a trigger for him when he sailed out into the ocean and like never came back. What was that?
Remember it off the top of my head.
I think it was like either Corsair did something, seemed to like fall into depression, and like he ended up. And apparently, like quote unquote, they didn't confirm he's dead, but like it's gonna happen with him.
He's retired, and then all of a sudden we got a hag out of it.
An even older person. Because
yeah.
I'm still a little bit salty about that because it's like, all right, we're gonna get a new fish player, a hag.
It's dope. She's
Hag
so
is
good
pretty
on the
dope.
tabletop.
Good, but
Ridiculously cool.
what I was expecting was like some person that was gonna be like named Orca or something, and was like a big bad dude that was, you know, gonna be like our.
Already? Like Kraken?
Someone better than Kraken, because I know Kraken's decent, but I've seen so many bad plays happen when people are like, I'm gonna use Kraken, and I'm gonna use the harpoon, I'm gonna pull the person towards me, and I'm gonna hit them. And they roll crap, and the person still has the ball, and they dance past Kraken and score the goal. Oh, did you let that happen?
Yeah, Kraken actually, every time he's on the board for fish, I'm like, okay, there's my momentum battery right there.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's
I'm
why I
just gonna-
stopped playing Stave. It's just so easy for the enemy to use him more than you use him.
That's why I got rid of Kraken, started throwing in a Siren just in order to make people not want to do anything to her.
Iron's pretty good too.
Took me a while. A little bit better with like all the different characters I have, but you know, I'm learning based off of mistakes, which is the good thing about this game. I know that I'm not gonna be like perfect in tournaments. So I'm understanding, you know, characters will qualify as, you know, what characters will qualify as don't try to fully like attack this person. You can use them in order to move around them, but don't like spend your time like throwing, you know, damage at this thing that's just gonna stare at you later and then just jump on top of you and beat you up.
Yeah.
Really, that's what Wendell is to me. As a let me get around you with my ball and I'm gonna leave.
People actually kill Windmill though. He's not take out. Like he has a lot of health.
Yeah.
High. He doesn't have any armor.
I've used Cena in order to kill Wendell.
And that's the thing is when that's I think the downfall to most farmers is once you beat them down to their icy sponge, they're an easy takeout. This side a lot is when I played farmers, as soon as the first couple takeouts started coming through, I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose this game because you're on your back foot from there on out. Like that's why I take you get the most health and you plant 2 harvest markers at the beginning of the game. I think it's like you get 5 health. Have Haro to heal up 7, but even then, that's like if you're playing against Brewers, that's 1 swing. So it's like you're like 3 swings from dying, and then once your farmers start dying, that's when you start losing. Like it's almost as if once your Haro's gone, or once you're like, God forbid your Wendell dies. Now he's stuck at the back of the board, can't get up there.
Yeah.
Like once Wendell dies, like you might as well just go for goals. Like there's no way he's gonna be getting in to see any action unless someone's dumb enough to do a tap in and Wendell's sitting right there.
Basically have to like use Jackstraw as your main at that point.
Yeah, that's why like if you're running Wendell, you definitely need like a secondary beat stick, because if for any reason he gets taken out, you're in the shitter. Like you are good luck.
That's the reason why I like Millstone secondary, because she can put down some stuff, but she's good at like making sure that like control the board a little bit.
Millstone's actually really dope because she's the one who can make someone else a goalie. Free influence that she won't be using. It's like she'll use like 1 to make someone. Actually, I don't even know if that costs influence to make someone a goalie.
One influence.
You're netting 2 influence off of her because all she's gonna be doing is giving someone that like hang back or giving herself one.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be the goalie at that point. Either to be your
Really
goalie.
dope.
Like the counter charge is dope, but you don't need it. Like if you just want Millstone as your goalie, you slap her with 1 influence, get in the goal. Like you're sitting pretty at that point, and she's doing that planning season. So in fact, she's actually giving you 4 influence if she's not being the goalie. Wait.
I just realized something, and this sounds weird. Farmers are actually supposed to be the blacksmiths in the armor variety. Like HP, and it keeps you solid until the chink in the armor happens, and then they're like, oh crap. Situation that I'm in. Smiths are like a battering ram in the worst way. They're like, you're gonna hurt too badly until you get like the beat down 7 on accident, and then you're just like, oh crap, never mind.
Yeah, I feel like blacksmiths. I haven't played them yet. I actually have their box. I treasure trove of. Oh, there it is. I found it. Yeah, I might play those next time we game Octave. But like,
Nice.
I'm
the
looking at
thing I like about the blacksmith.
Whoa.
Hello. Did someone? Come
Yep. Sounded like you did for a second there.
The thing I like about the blacksmiths is that they have so many unique, and the thing that is kind of cool going hand in hand with how a blacksmith works is blacksmiths have specialties, you know, like you're either like an armor smith or like a swordsmith, or like you specialize in normal. Yeah, there are general blacksmiths like that do everything, but I like the fact that this is a master and apprentice type of deal where it is so unique. Like Cinder is ridiculously cool.
Yeah, that's a super fun one.
Yeah, like, and that's how it should be. She's supposed to specialize in like doing archery and like ranged plays, and that's what she does good at, and that's what she's good at. Like, it makes sense.
I
And
love
like
that
the fact
kill the ball feature.
that the fact that straight up this is supposed to be a kicker. This is like this model does this, this model does this, this model does this, and it's not like they have synergy, but it's like you're playing with a bunch of solos at this point. So it's like own right, but they unless you're using like the attack buff, what's it called, for sledge, like they don't work together that much, and if they do, it's very straightforward. Gave this guy
Yeah,
plus
I mean it's a good idea to run them in pairs, masters and apprentices. But it's I hear what you're saying. They're not like deeply reliant on one another.
No.
That's a full team. Farmers need to be on each other to like win. Versus blacksmiths, it's like you run the master with the apprentice, and they do stuff. They're like a solo team. What they do is they're good at doing this. This is what they were raised to do. It's kind of like Nasir.
Yeah.
They do this very well. Do this? Well, sorry, man. I mean, them having high armor across the board makes sense because they're blacksmiths, but that ties them together.
I don't know. I had a lot of fun when I was playing them. I am tempted at some point to pick up another box, paint, and play a couple of games, and then sell again. Just because they're fun.
But I think I've seen Walmart selling them.
Really?
Weird. Yes.
Wow.
Listen, Andrew, when are you gonna give me a chance to be an asshole to use the team you gave me against you? Nah, dude, that's not an asshole move. I'd want to see
Do it, man.
I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next weekend off. I think one day I'm spending with my family.
I'm gonna see it happen.
But the other day, we play GB. That's what's going out. Wait, when's the paint day, Octave? It's next weekend, right?
Yeah, Sunday. Go
can
play
grab
during
a
paint
game.
day.
Yeah, we'll paint and then grab a game too. Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
So if next Sunday you're free, Nelson, just let me know. Go, guys. On that note, I got to leave.
You gotta roll. Alright, man.
He's waiting for me.
Thanks for hopping
We're
on.
gonna do some Chinese New Year shit. Alright, later.
See ya.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year, guy. They'll have Asian in the house.
No,
later.
Asian.
Guys.
Later.
See ya.
Good night.
Apparently, eBay has a blacksmith box. It says like new, only played once.
That's funny. Well, the last time I sold blacksmiths, they did pretty well on eBay. And it's quick painting, it's about 2 nights worth of painting. So,
Which I figure, I
not
mean,
bad. Oh, man. That's gonna drive me crazy.
apparently Walmart is trying to be a I guess they're doing like the Amazon thing,
Mm-hmm.
and 30 cents. Shipping is $6.48 freight shipping.
Oh, wow.
It's the arrival time that takes the longest. Because this says arrives Friday, March 2nd.
Oh, jeez.
It's like you're paying for. Yeah, it's cheap, but it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad gig, considering, you know, I would probably buy it and then just, by the time it comes in, I'll, you know, try to clear up my project space, and then it's like good timing, like, oh, okay.
I find it funny that, like, you know, my fiance took to this game like at a high level, because I was like, okay, you know, I introduced her to the game, gave her
Mm-hmm.
the Morticians. I was like, okay, we'll see if she keeps to it. She loved the game. And then, like, I ended up showing her later on down the line, oh yeah, you know, they're talking about, you know, the blacksmiths. And I showed her pictures of the farmers, and she was like, I'm like, okay. It was like freaking me out how fast she was just like adamantly into the game. When she saw
That's
my
cool.
alchemists and how they were being used, she actually was interested in them too, so. Or on the 50-50 line where it's like, I'm off to her, or.
Mm-hmm.
She loves
That's
farmers
cool.
now. She likes the mascots, both Peck and Donkey. She likes Wendell. She likes how the farmers actually work, because they actually work as a strong team. She loves her Morticians, but she usually plays them if she wants to mess with people's brains.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm kind of scared that you're like using the ethereal use of these guys.
Yeah. Morticians are hilarious. I actually wanted to play a Morticians team in the first season, but I felt like they were
And the grandma using
little that, and they just, you know, Obulus just seemed kind of ridiculous to me. Now I think, you know, they did a very minor nerf to him.
Yeah.
And that turned a lot of people off, which to me that means, okay, good, he's back to playable range again.
Just nice to have, because I mean, there was some stuff where it's just like, okay, unfortunately that's the way that San Diego works. We had probably about 3 guys that were rolling during season 1-2 with nothing but Morticians, and then we also had like the 3 or 4 guys that were rolling nothing but Masons.
Yep.
Your sprinkle butchers and playing fish and playing brewers. A lot of people kept hold of like, oh well, this is the good stuff is. I'm like, play Guild Ball.
You seem to be cutting out a bit. Maybe that's just on my side, though.
It may be a mix of both. Times, especially on Fridays, like areas, it's like terrible.
Hmm.
I think I have my at the moment, so I could probably knock that down. Still trying to figure the right way of building this because, you know, the team that I have for Smoke is good, but I may move back over to Midas because I think that he was kind of a little bit more interesting once his change happened.
Yeah, I think Midas is for me the far more interesting playstyle. Even though it's not very alchemisty. It's just Midasy. You're just playing Midas and his buddies, essentially.
Like the build I was looking at was Midas, Naja, regular Catalyst, Vitriol. Either I was waffling between Compound or Crucible.
Okay. I don't know. Crucible was okay, but I think Compound, for me personally, yeah, Compound is kind of the more useful piece overall. That's just, but that's probably just my preference there.
No, well, I have to say Compound has saved me games.
Yeah, for sure he should. I mean, he's
at the goal, and at the same time too, if you corner a person with Compound and Catalyst, it's
yeah. The issue, yeah, I don't. I guess you could play Catalyst back a little bit and get situations like that, or conversely throw Compound in the middle of a scrum once you know, once it gets down and dirty. So that makes sense. And that would be a rather disgusting place to get stuck. Would be between those two guys.
Mercury. I think they need reworks.
Mercury just doesn't have a spot on the squad. I mean, I'm gonna put him back in. I'm putting him in my squad, but you know, other than, I'm not gonna spend influence on his abilities for the most part. He's just gonna sort of bide his time and look for like important passes. Maybe be
Fireball here and there.
Yeah.
Them as a nuisance.
I may actually take my team to a you know, where I drop Harry and Vitriol to field Compound and Mercury, and it's a very weird looking team at that point. It becomes very Midas heavy at that point, and probably very ill advised. But I will kind of, you know, I kind of want to stick with, well, if Harry's really going to the NGs, then I'm gonna try to learn get a lineup that's not using him. And Vitriol, trading Vitriol in for Compound was kind of where I was headed anyway, because Vitriol was not. She would get me a goal now and then, but she was a huge liability on the board just because of her super low health.
Oh yeah. Use Vitriol in order to set up a pass for a goal.
Yeah, so I wasn't even really using Vitriol the way you should be using Vitriol. I was using her as a really overbuilt midfielder And so if I'm going to take a midfielder, well, Mercury's actually a pretty damn good midfielder. If you look at his playbook, he's got an accurate kick. He's got a low tackle. He's got average defense, and he causes fire to people that get in close, and he can also control the midfield with his own AoEs. So all of those things combined are like telling me, okay, well, if I'm using Vitriol for that, why not take an actual midfielder and do that? So I'm gonna try it. Right now I'm enjoying my my Union team way too much, but at some point I will break the Alchemist out again and play a more pure guild team. I should be getting a free compound mini from Cody because he had an extra one, so he's just gonna give me a compound. So I have to wait for that to come in first too before I field it. Hey, not to creep, but Octave put the camera facing you is frozen. Oh yeah, that is. What the hell? It did die, didn't it? Oh, it's because I see what happened. I had a moment. All right, let's delete that. That is creepy, and it's a weird. Yeah. That is weird. Thank you for pointing that out. What the hell happened there?
Figure out what am I gonna run for Kingdom Con, like which team.
Yeah. Oh, where's my?
I want to rep fish so badly, but hard.
There will be fish players there. If you're worried about that, there will be fish players. This is a competitive event, so yes. Okay, so I found this, that P3 now has 3 different flesh washes. They have flesh wash.
They do.
And they have Caspian flesh wash, and they have another one. I forget what the other one was called. And so I wanted to see.
About that.
What?
To tell you about that.
So let's see.
Different flesh washes.
So you can see that. So you can see Caspian flesh wash is a more brown, more yellow brown. This is more red. And since I was saying earlier, I don't want to use the P3 red flesh wash. So hopefully this will work a little bit better.
The other flesh wash is Closet.
Okay.
The Russian guys. It's the Closet flesh wash.
Okay. Cool. Oh shoot. I forgot to. I'm gonna do a little highlight on Scalpel before I wash the minis.
Another midfielder besides Corsair.
You have your fish. You have so many good ones. Sakana is a great midfielder. Jack is amazing. Basically, as a midfielder, and then Grayscales is just my favorite ball control piece, probably in the entire game.
Team that I ran last time, Shark, Salt. I ended up using Jack and Byron.
Okay.
Veteran Siren. Did pretty well for me.
Okay.
Throw Kraken back in because farmers can do to Kraken, and it's a bad day.
Yep.
Kraken's not good when farmers are up playing. pretty good. He's decent, but he's one of those people where it's like, don't self.
Mhm.
I still love Grayscales, even though that a lot of people don't like him.
I think Grayscales is amazing. I don't know why people don't have that model is great. He's got balls gone, man. You're worried about somebody with close control? Just drop Grayscales on him. I mean,
in my different teams.
Maybe my only criticism of Grayscale is that he is sort of a, if you want to be effective with him, you do have to throw influence at him. You can't just, he's not the most influence efficient. But if you play him only as a ball clearer and as a midfielder, he's brilliant.
In a way, that's kind of what I use him as, because I just want to pick the ball off of a person a little and then kick the ball off to someone else. No, it sounds bad, but having 3 strikers on the team is kind of like insane.
You're fish. What's wrong with that?
It's like I had Shark, I had Salt, and I had Cicada.
Yeah, that's the whole point of taking fish.
Like, so who's the ball really gonna go to? Oh.
I mean, basically, it's whoever's alive and within goal range. That's all you're playing for.
I just need to find the right siren between the two.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion there. I can see that Siren is a difficult model for people to work into their plays. But she is very good. It's a matter of deciding that you're going to include her in the plays. A lot of people just take Siren because it's great control piece, and then never really
actually use her properly.
Use her ability. Yeah, she's a model on the board that's a defensive 5, and I'm standing in your way. Like, okay, well, I can still roll a 5, you realize, and then you kill him.
That's very true.
Oh, thanks, Nelson. They're getting there. I don't know if they're getting there. They still have a ways to go. But they definitely, at least at this point, they're looking like a team.
Siren's the one that will fit on the team properly, because using Beautiful and having Charmed is... those are good key pieces of using for her. Made her influence go down to 3, but I understood the reason why. To be using Seduce and then, like, punishing the person again. Off somewhere. Or using it for... you seduce the person, they pass the ball over to her, and then she just kicks it off to her friend. And then they're standing there like...
She actually, believe it or not, Siren is one of my favorite targets, even at defense 5, and she does have the ability to kind of tone you down when you're near her. She's still, with Melee Zone 1 on the fish team, she's still a juicy target, relatively speaking.
Just understandable. Take that away from people whenever they look for a target, because guaranteed the fish could be an easy target.
Right. So her Kraken, and if you're not taking care of Angel, and
I've seen
obviously
Angel
Angel's a good
die
target.
fast.
Yeah.
Like, you could throw that nimble on there, but in order to kill her. I like splash damage capabilities. Not that hard. 6, it's like, yeah, but I roll 2 dice, so it's a possibility. You a lot more, but I really don't.
Seriously? Yeah, the skin is way too dark. She needs to be a lot more pale than this. So let's do that.
Fun looking at engineers, which I really shouldn't, but area owned compound, I would probably be throwing like locust and regular velocity with and mother and pin vice together. The automaton team.
Full automaton team is fun.
This is really good to have.
This guy's really pulling into that damn driveway.
2 people in San Diego that play engineers. These engineers really well.
Kevin, one of the guys that shows up on Tuesdays, plays engineers. But I've only played Kevin once, and I played against his hammer team, which was pretty damn brutal.
What's his face name? Oh, Regan. You've played Regan before, right?
Yeah, Regan's a strong player.
He's like the person that I go to in order to like have my aunt, like, you know, about certain things. But he's like a really nice player to play against too.
He's strong.
Listen, you know how like you always meet that one player that's like super strong, but their ego makes you just go, I don't ever want to play this person ever again.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those.
Regan's the complete opposite. A person that if I'm like making a bad play on something and then later on after the game I'm like, okay, I need to figure this out because something's not making sense.
Yeah, I can see Regan being like that. He's, you know, he's gonna be one of the principal organizers at Kingdom Con for Guild Ball stuff. Because I told him I got like Ninja Division stuff I want to do, and I want to help with some other stuff too. So I'm gonna support the Guild Ball stuff, but I can't be like the main guy for them.
Understandable, because I mean, Ninja Division under your belt.
Yeah. But you know, Sally will be there too, so that's good. We'll have. Let's see. I do want to do. I need
to bring Way of the Fighter.
Yes, I will be bringing Way of the Fighter.
Shoot. That out.
Yeah, they showed some more of the sculpts today, and they looked really good. And I kind of want to run a green wash, but let's just go with more
giving
pale skin.
what you call it? The game, Super Dungeon Explorer Legends.
Yeah, SDE Legends.
With that small blur, but I didn't have time in order to finish it. What's going on with that?
I don't even read those updates anymore, to be honest with you. I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. They're like, oh, well, we're working on this, and here's... I think it was another throwaway update, where it's like, oh, well, you know, buy our limited thing, and something like, I think there's gonna be a coloring book or something you can buy, or... It's like, okay, so that's more not news, so thank you. So you just skip past that and
I was waiting for the possible... You know, we're not doing the best right now on this, so we're gonna give everyone their money back until we like figure out the situation, and then we're just gonna distribute the...
I think they're you know, I think they understand the production of chibi well enough to be able to crank it out. It's more, I think more their holdup was around the rules earlier. And then, you know, working on other projects and not being able to kind of close out the work that needed to be done for SDE.
All the Kickstarter stuff that I wanted is like, we're still working on it. I'm like, how much longer?
Yeah, I would, you know, yeah, I do volunteer for the company, and I know the guys, and I like the guys and all this, but
I'm gonna taxing.
I'm not gonna be dishonest to people and say that I'm not frustrated with it, because I am. I think, like,
it's understandable.
You know, which I think, for me personally, when I back one of their Kickstarters, I usually count on it being somewhere between 6 and 15 months late. So I automatically add between 9 and 12 months to whatever date they initially promise. And that usually works pretty well. The issue I've been having lately is, okay, they're now late, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say Way of the Fighter is late, even though, well, it is late, but it's even, I would say that I'm still waiting for Way of the Fighter, even though I have my copy, because I backed it for miniatures, and a lot of people backed it for miniatures. So, to my mind, that Kickstarter has not been fulfilled. I'm still waiting for that to fulfill, and if you're waiting for that to fulfill, and you're waiting for SDE Legends, and you're waiting for Relic Knights, and you do a little bit of math, and you're like, wow, I'm nearly $1,000 waiting on 3 different Kickstarters they have open, and they can't seem to close out one of those 3. That's where the frustration is. You know, you're waiting for one of the 3 to close out, and in the meantime, they're still trying to sell you stuff like, oh, you know, we're gonna work on the sci-fi RPG stuff, and we're gonna work on I forget what else they were working on. I mean, if you look at the number of projects they've completed at the time these 3 Kickstarters have been open, it's a lot of work. You have You had partnerships with um, some of the other companies like Palladium, which was not good. Um, but even on the stuff that is working, you have the My Little Pony stuff. You have the John Carter stuff. You have what's the other one? Guts, I think it was called the Chibi,
Yes. Yeah, the
the
tank.
the Chibi Tank game, and you're like, all of this stuff is happening while they have 3 open and very very late Kickstarters. It's very frustrating to sit. It's like it's very frustrating, and it would be dishonest of me not to say that I'm not happy. You know, I think that's not okay. That like they
Isn't.
they finished another half dozen projects while we're still waiting for one of these projects to actually like complete. That's the issue I had. I had that issue with Weird too, back when they did their RPG. It's like they did their
Yeah.
RPG, that was late, and in the meantime, they rewrote all of M2E during that time, and they were putting out other products as well during that time. What was that Jetpack Unicorn game? That crappy, like hipster game.
Yeah.
They did all that stuff, and that had turned me off of Weird. And it would be very, like I said, like that's a consistent button for me. I don't want. I'll back your projects, and I like your products, and I'll even accept delays. But if it's I'm starting to look at this and think like, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of now because, yeah, we have delays on all this stuff, but there's also so much other activity going on, and it's like, let's collect more of your money to do this on the side. Let's collect more of your money to do this on the side. It's like, no, dude, just finish a Kickstarter. Just pick one. I don't care. Pick one at random and just finish it, because this is very.
Man.
It would be nice to be able to say that we got one of the 3 things that we were promised in 2015. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And like I said, I'm friends with those guys. I volunteer for them. I'm more than happy to promote their products, but I'm also not gonna just like sit here with a shit-eating grin and tell people, oh yeah, it's wonderful. And I'm expecting to get a lot of a lot of questions at Kingdom Con. Hey, do you know when this is gonna fulfill? Do you know when this is gonna fulfill? And I'm just gonna be sitting there with my dick in my hands, going, no, I don't. And yeah, be mad. Like I don't really have, right? Yeah, I don't really have a defense. It's just and then the next logical.
Understand that.
Yeah, the next logical question would be, well, yeah, but you still promote their games. And I'm like, yeah, they make good games. And I'm happy to teach people the games. And I want people, it's still well within my interest for people to play these games because I'm so invested in them. And I think they're good games. And I think the aesthetic has not been matched in the industry yet, which is still a surprise to me. That's still very, very surprising to me. That there still hasn't been a miniatures company that has really sunk its teeth into the anime category the way Ninja Division has. But, from my point of view, it's like at any point, another company can come in and say, oh, we're going to do anime-themed stuff too. Our Kickstarters are going to be 5 months late. So, okay, 5 months late versus 15 months late. What company do you think I'm going to end up backing? If they're able to get the aesthetic I want and the themes I want of the game, of course I'm going to pick whoever's better at delivering it at that point.
Yeah. Small portion of me is like, Maybe I should have waited on like, to Relic Knights. I mean, I liked it. I
Yeah.
like the revival of, Relic Knights coming back. But then there was like Rumble Slam at the same time too. And Rumble Slam
Mm-hmm.
came out way ahead.
And I passed on Rumble
Schedule.
Slam. I passed on
Is
that.
like what's eating me.
And I look at their miniatures, and Rumble Slam is still putting out miniatures. Like, not only did they launch their product, they're well into the line now. And it's a good product.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, okay, how many other Kickstarters did I pass up on because I was waiting for Ninja Division to get their act together? You know?
Truth be told,
And you can get really upset
probably-
thinking about stuff like that, but I mean, it is what it is, and you know,
Truth be told, probably by the time that hits my birthday, I may just crumple and actually get Rumble Slam for myself.
I do not blame you. Why not? Rumble Slam is awesome.
It looks like a great game. People have been reviewing it as fun. The reviews that I've seen for it, people have rated the game at an 8 for like, the ability and it being like really entertaining and,
And it has
like a
it has-
semi-tournament with it.
right. Well, that's one of my favorite features of that game is that it's just so hyper portable.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I would kill or die to be able to just have a miniatures game that small that you can always have. Like, oh, here, let's play some Rumble Slam. That just sounds amazing to me. Yes, let's play some Rumble Slam. That sounds great. And you break out the little ring, and you have your wrestling team, and the other guy has his wrestling team, and maybe it's not the best absolute miniature system, but it's entertaining. It's enough to, and most importantly, compared to Relic Knights, it's here. It's a product in your hand.
I mean, like, you can't say no to throwing Trojan Man against the guy that looks like a Spartan.
Right.
Can't say no to the Chief going up against the Patriot.
Yeah.
That stuff is, like, great on its own.
There's so much. Yeah, there is so much going for Rumble Slam.
I mean, you don't have to collect every single character. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be characters where you look at them and you're like, nah, doesn't really fit my aesthetic. But then there's like the ones where you look at them and you're like, that's freaking awesome. I want this.
I think I am gonna order myself a couple of wrestling teams for Rumble Slam and just enjoy it. Just play Rumble Slam. Why not?
And I keep on eyeballing the weird skeleton team.
There's a lot of teams there that look really cool to me.
Just keep laughing at the skeleton that's like wearing the unitard. It's just that it looks like a Borat thing that he's wearing. It's like that skeleton man. It's one of the ones I looked at and I said, oh man, I'm like stuck in between a rock and a hard place because cool, but yeah, at the same time, so does the anime stuff, and I was like, which one am I gonna play more? And honestly, I probably should have listened to my wrestling brain a lot faster than my anime brain.
Yeah. We could have been, if I had done the same thing, we could have been a year into playing Rumble Slam. And been like way into it. Like, oh yeah, Rumble Slam's a great game.
They had like all these insane teams put together, and star based characters with like the rookies and all that type of stuff.
Hmm. That's it. Yeah.
You know?
I think I'm gonna get it. I think I'm gonna get Rumble Slam. I think I'm just gonna get it and be happy and play a bunch of games and not pay attention to the updates from Ninja. Just wait. Whenever stuff shows up, it shows up.
Until it just finally lands in your lap and you're like, oh, you're here.
And like, oh yeah, what was this thing again? Okay, yeah. Whatever. By the time it comes in, you're like, what was this? I don't know. I think I liked this at one point. I just don't remember what it is. Here we go. But yeah, we are running a Relic Knights tournament Saturday evening at Kingdom Con. Just for the hell of it.
Right.
Just because that's a fun, obviously I'll be drinking and trying to TO and probably playing. So it'll be a good time.
Time. Anyone have Rumble Slam in the United States that I don't have to deal with? So,
does Miniature Market have it?
I don't know if they do. I'm tempted in order to get E-Honda.
Yes.
E-Honda model.
They have cool, all-female teams, too, that I'm looking at. Like, oh, that would be fun.
Rumble Slam collection painted with extras, everything you need to play. This is their starting bid. Actually like painting my own stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to paint it Rumble Slam. I want to enjoy painting it
On
myself.
eBay for $36.
Not bad. I mean, if it's already painted. Well, my issue isn't that it's already painted. It's that it's already assembled, and they probably didn't pin it to the standard I have.
These aren't assembled. These are like the starter boxes, untouched.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Okay. I'm interested.
All-female team, the Deadly Divas.
Yeah!
Where's it coming from, though? That is my question.
I will buy one tonight, man, if that's...
Texas.
Oh, nice.
Texas. The starter box, so I have, like, everything? My favorite team. Thing.
Oh shoot, I hate it when they do that.
One has to have it in the United States on stock.
Do they have it in Mini Market?
We'll check that.
Cause I'll just throw $100 at it, get two teams and whatever, and get free shipping.
Doesn't seem like Miniature Market has it.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
I'm giving Cosset eyebrows, and I don't care what people think.
She's one that I think would have eyebrows. Well, it's eyebrows because I know that he's supposed to be the creepy weirdo. Buddy, he just stares at them. Amazon. some miniatures. Scroll down. Scroll down. On Amazon, I know that you have this.
Whoa.
Come on. Thing. Not have the starter box. It has individual miniatures.
That's annoying. Not doing that. That's a rough way to try to get to $100, man.
I know, right?
No, thank you.
Going fishing. Except the fish are in different ponds. From UK, but they would have to be here like how Steamforged is. Steamforged did work when it came to sending me the miniatures during like December. I was expecting like the miniature to like show up later for the Christmas. I was expecting that stuff to show way later than it did. Like a week before Christmas. I was like, damn. I actually do care about sending out your product.
Okay, well, I think we're at a good, it's 1 o'clock, so I think we're at a good stopping point. Didn't seem like we did a whole lot of work, but we did actually the skin and the detail on most of the faces, which is actually quite a bit of good work, because it means there's not a whole lot of like precise painting left. It's mostly going to be picking out details and doing the basing. So I should be able to finish, if I go at it diligently tomorrow night, should be able to finish this sometime tomorrow night, which is good. Just do a little highlight here before I forget. Alright. Little mask action on Ghast there. So I guess with that, we're going to call the stream to a close. It's super late. I'm going to go to bed. So have a good night, guys. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, Blade Wolf.